Social media on the internet, that vast pool of infinite space that had room for everyone, with limitless possibilities, the ultimate front for free speech, a safe space to express your views, a platform for all. But has social media disrupted more than just the internet game? Who are these people who indulge in endless debates and whataboutery online? Why has a vast majority of the India-centric online exchange turned so virulently abusive and polarized? Why are so many on the internet targeted for what they say, do, or wear? Why are so many harassed, abused, and threatened? Are these just angry individuals? Or at times, is it an organized army out with a diktat to follow? A few weeks ago, External Affairs Minister in the ruling government in India, Sushma Swaraj, suddenly faced a volley of negative comments on the microblogging site Twitter. The comments were accusatory, virulent, and inflammatory. The tweets disapproved of her action of helping out an interfaith couple with their passports. The comments targeted the minister's personal life, questioned the religion of her recent kidney donor, asked whether that had influenced her decision to help them out. Even her husband, a former governor, was dragged into this when a Twitter user asked him to beat his wife and teach her not to do Muslim appeasement. But the backlash that she faced was the first of its kind, because many of those who wrote these offensive tweets were followed by top BJP leaders. When the minister retweeted some of these offensive tweets directed at her and began a Twitter poll asking people whether such trolling was fine, 57% said no, but 43% said yes. And so, our person of interest this week is the troll.
So this is in response to your blog, like on your blog? Or
No, this is something on Twitter. Nowadays, something new that started happening in the last one or 2 months is...
I have to say that much as it hurts, of course it hurts. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. Nobody wants to wake up every day and be told that you don't love your country, you don't belong to this country and your nationality is being questioned. But on the other hand, sometimes I laugh, because what can I say when someone writes to me saying that I criticized Prem Ratan Dhan Payo because the Pope told me to criticize it, because they think it's a Hindu film and they think the Pope is against Prem Ratan Dhan Payo. What does that mean?
So no matter what I post, I may be posting a song from YouTube, and the reactions will be completely like, you jihadi, you Islamist, you terrorist, you should go to Pakistan, etc., etc.
That's why I was speaking more of like whatever you want to take it. You use that.
Certain days I feel like quitting. Actually, it's every other day I say to myself, oh my God, I make a deadline for myself. Twitter delete karna hai. I want my mental peace back.
There is no typical troll because the tendency to irritate others is in all of us. There is a troll in every one of us. Like I said, trolling is only about getting a rise out of people. People try to get a rise out of me by calling me a libtard or congressy or terrorist.
Using the troll brand to dismiss an argument just because it doesn't meet your exacting standards of language or idiom or phraseology is perhaps not the right way to do it.
Any activity which is aimed for the purposes of disturbing the mental balance of a particular person or targeting a particular person using computers, computer systems, computer networks, computer resources or communication devices would come within the broad ambit of the definition of trolling.
These people normally would be very silent or very quiet kind of a people either, and they would have a lot of emotions within themselves, and this is one platform for them to vent out how and what they feel. But these are the people who would be anonymous. Yes, they will not like to come out, but they will like their comments, etc., to be liked or by people or somewhere, and they vent it out, like I said. Then the second kind of people are who are very aggressive. These are the people who are highly extrovert, very loud, and they will not only troll, and they will not only troll very openly, but they will go out in the society and very proudly cherish that movement and talk about that trolls, because these are the people who are very extrovert and they have certain belief factor which they want that it should be communicated.
It was Bahubali 1. I wrote a column about it, and what I felt was a scene that was romanticizing rape in the film, and we headlined it The Rape of Avantika, and it was published in the Hindu Business Line, and it really upset them, primarily because they were in a celebration mood, because the film had opened beautifully, it had made a hell of a lot of money across the country, and it had got across the board positive reviews with 1 or 2 exceptions. So this was someone, they saw my column and I think they felt that I was just spoiling the party. And so of course I was targeted, I was told that the Pope had told me to write that piece against Bahubali because they saw it, I don't know what it means, but they said that it is a Hindu film. What's a Hindu film? I don't know. Then they said it's because I am not a South Indian, which is really funny because I am. There were those who were aware that I'm South Indian, but they said, you live in North India and so you are pro-North Indian. And then the fact that I'm a woman, I mean, it was just, oh, you're a Malayali who's against Telugu cinema. It was just so ridiculous.
I made the page after a heated exchange with a nationalist friend of mine. For quite some time now I had been debating with nationalist trolls on online forums and found that they were all just regurgitating the fake information put out by BJP's IT cell. I wanted to frame their rather absurd thoughts for all to see.
Hate. The ideology is they hate anyone, everyone who doesn't support BJP. It's simple. It's very simple. Till the time I was supportive of BJP, I was good. Okay, I was a good Hindu. Ever since I dissociated myself from the BJP, I still remember the first experience of being trolled, which I faced after I came out in that book, I'm a Troll, Swati Chaturvedi's book. She's a jihadi. I was called a jihadi. I was taken aback. I was in tears.
The world is constantly trying to put women in their place. And I think that right now what we are experiencing online is a reflection of the backlash that as women we are experiencing offline. It's a backlash to feminism. It is people who are angry because the status quo has been questioned by women like us, and they don't know what to do about it because we've evolved and they have not. So what they're trying to do online is to put us in our place as they do offline. I feel like trolls feel that I don't fit a mold that they might consider acceptable. If I were a politician talking about politics, or if I were an activist talking about politics, they might still be able to cope with me. But I do deal with a lot of who are you and how dare you.
It can be the Islamist right wing also, or it can be the Hindu right wing or whatever. All these kinds of people, right wing especially, they are fundamentally misogynistic. Like they believe that women should not have an opinion, and especially if it's an opinion that goes against them.
Every time I write something which is anti-Modi and pro-Rahul, I get trolled very badly. Sometimes to an extreme. There is that picture of mine there with Mr. Gandhi. So every time something happens, they come out with that picture and they cook up all kind of stories. As I said, it's very easy. Women are soft targets.
Every time you post something against Modi, like they will start morphing your pictures, they will start morphing your videos, and like that kind of expertise, the way they do it, and the sheer volume in which they do it. But that is not possible for an individual troll. Like that's not possible for someone with an anonymous account and 12 followers. The way my photos are morphed, my videos are morphed, fake news about me is spread, and then that is retweeted by people.
It's no secret that the BJP has a dedicated IT cell and has spent millions of dollars on creating an online army of trolls who make certain topics trend, spread fake news or doctored videos, and assassinate the character of political rivals and journalists. This has been proven again and again. To counter this, other political parties have got IT cells of their own now. The difference is that BJP's trolls are provided immunity by the government. People who have posted rape and death threats are followed by PM Modi, which is, frankly, rather disgusting.
Whether you're a politician or you are a journalist or you're an academician or whoever you may be, your conduct on social media is going to be challenged. People are going to argue with you, they are going to question what you are saying, and you must be prepared for it.
One day, I received messages and emails from anonymous accounts, telling me that they knew who I was. They listed my phone number, email, and address, abused me and said they would teach me and my family a lesson. They put these details out on many right-wing fora. Fortunately for me, the details they had about me were dated and incorrect. Since I was living in a rented apartment, I moved homes and changed my phone number. I shut down my website, on which I had spent 2 months and my own money. I did not tell anyone about these threats because I planned to return when the situation was under control. But the media got wind of what was happening, and suddenly it became a big news story and was all over the internet. I unpublished the page for 2 to 3 weeks. I was even wondering if I should just quit, but then I saw how right-wingers were celebrating shutting me down, and decided to return.
From 2012 to 2014 they used to be anonymous, but now they are open. I mean, now they openly keep inciting genocide. They say Muslims should be killed. I mean even BJP's parliament members, their MPs, they keep saying Muslims should go to Pakistan. So now there's complete impunity for hate and violence, verbal violence. So all these like people who are abusive on the internet, they now have party backing. They have ruling party backing.
I think Amir's wife had said something about she not feeling safe in India, but doesn't mean that you become an anti-national. So that particular episode was a tipping point for me. I was taken aback. I was seriously taken aback. I was like, what? I mean, that means this is an official agenda. This is their official line to troll Amir Khan just because his wife said that she feels unsafe. His wife never said anything against the BJP. I was very put off. I did not by that time I was anyways disillusioned with Mr. Modi. There were many reasons. One big reason was hate.
There have been dedicated campaigns to take me down. I have posted screenshots of several right-wing pages organizing mass reports of my posts in order to have me shut down. Even when I quit temporarily, the right-wing spread fake news that I was shut down by Facebook for hate speech and hurting religious sentiments, when all my posts are still up. If I focus on Hindutva, it's because Hindu nationalists are the ones lynching people in broad daylight in my country. They are the ones taking out marches in support of child rapists, rioters, and murderers. If I focus on the BJP, it's because they are silent on these hate crimes despite being in power. I have even put out an open challenge for anyone to prove that I spread hatred against any religious group or community, and they have never taken me up on it. I only poke fun at the ridiculous things said by BJP ministers and their supporters. If you are more offended by a Facebook page than those who support genocide and rape, then you need to set your priorities straight.
I think we have played a role in at least highlighting this and getting it covered by the international media. And I am being very specific over here because Bahubali and Bahubali 2 were different, but the nature of the abuse that I got for Toilet Ek Prem Katha, where the Akshay Kumar fan and the Modi fan were really one. And the anger was because I said in my review, what I believe that film was a pro-Modi propaganda film starring Akshay Kumar. And it was the BJP troll targeting me for that.
After the Prime Minister or anybody follows anyone, if the individual goes and commits harakiri or says something which is unacceptable, the person following cannot be held responsible. But again, you know, this is trivializing debate. The issues where we are talking about larger issues, we're talking about data privacy, the Congress wants to take us down to the debates of troll, which we do not endorse anyway.
Okay, people need to understand that your right to freedom of speech and expression is not a license to defame. So long as your right does not impact another person, it's good. You have a right to disagree, but if you're going to be vicious and you're going to impact the reputation, the goodwill, the standing of another person, that's not included within the ambit of your right to freedom of speech and expression.
They do not want members of minority communities to speak as freely as members of the majority community. They do not want Dalits to speak as freely as upper castes. They do not want homosexuals to speak as freely as straight people. And of course, over and above and in addition to all that, they do not want you, if you are a Hindu in India, they do not want you to be a liberal, and they see you as a traitor and they will punish you for that by abusing you online.
If you look at the supporters of Modi who would troll, you would see 90-95% of them to be of a particular religion or majority. So that basically brings in how we think. That means if I have to oppose somebody because I feel that that person is a threat to my religion, even if that person is right, I will go all out to protect myself by trolling him. I may not agree because that is my predisposition, faith and belief that I come from.
In 2018, I have no reasons to believe that Mr. Modi doesn't monitor the social media. He does, like for example now, all his online yodhas, all his trolls, okay, he continues to follow them. He continues to follow some of the most abusive trolls, you know. Do you think he doesn't know what his followers are doing?
Trolling and its regulation is not at all a political priority. For them, it appears to be the personal quarrels of some people. What they don't understand is that tomorrow they can also be trolled as political leaders. Currently, it's begun to start happening. The minister Sushma Swaraj got trolled. That's the first of its kind in the country. Now that's opening up a potential door of exposure tomorrow. Tomorrow, almost a variety of Indian political leaders are likely to be trolled.
When I first started using Twitter, back in 2011-12. So I used to engage with people. Maybe I could change my opinions, you know, if someone was bringing out some positive point. But now that's not possible anymore. I really can't, like, all the appreciation that I get, all the positive comments that I get, those are just drowned out by abuse. So, you know, I really can't engage with my followers. That's a pity because it has made the whole platform very irrelevant.
I think we need to start sensitizing people more about cyber hygiene. That's something that's grossly missing in a country like India.
Our country, it's a very dynamic country with different culture, with different education pattern, with different insight. So you would see why it started at a positive note, because it was primarily, though I should not be saying this on camera, but this was primarily for, or was used by people who were very well educated. They understood the importance of sensitivity, they understood the importance of communicating in the right way. However, now it has become a worldwide or across India phenomena where a person who may not have got that kind of an education have the access to it. So they have their own way of saying what they want to say.
As far as the constraint on language is concerned, I'm of the view that our interaction on social media should reflect the way we would be in real life. And that is how we will make for a healthy and fulfilling conversation on social media.
There is language I cannot use over here, descriptions of my body parts telling me that I am sleeping with every member of the opposition party.
You are a whore, you are a prostitute, you are sleeping with X, Y, Z. Yeah.
India, by and large, is a very sadistic society. People like to actually trouble others.
That is why if you look at the psychosocial behavior and the passive aggressiveness of the Indians, because they feel if they are going to say something openly, it is not going to go to many people, right? So why not use a medium which has hundreds and lakhs of followers? If you go on those trolls, you will see a lot of likes, a lot of compliments also by others, right? Yes, obviously, and the people who will like to debunk or rebuke those kind of trolls are again at the receiving end, correct? So this is the kind of attention that they are seeking.
I think people are very invested in their political ideologies and will go to great lengths to express their convictions. It used to be that people would debate their contrasting ideologies or go to a protest to make their stand clear. However, with the advent of technology, people have become more uncouth. When there is no face-to-face interaction or immediate consequence, people say the most outrageous things.
The troll is under a mistaken notion that cyberspace is anonymous. No, it's not anonymous. He can be potentially tracked down. The task may be slightly arduous or be difficult, but it can be done.
I haven't gone to the police for the simple reason that I know people who have and have not had good experiences. They've either encountered indifference or sadly ignorance from the police. The police, look, even well-meaning police need to be educated about the cyberspace.
India does not have a law on trolling. We do not have a single provision under the Indian legal frameworks which specifically deals with trolling. We should also explore the possibility of regulating social media service providers to intermediary liability. For example, under Section 79 of the Information Technology Act 2000 in India, all these social media service providers are mandated to exercise due diligence while they discharge their obligations under the law. And of course, that portion of the law is not effectively implemented.
The difference between Twitter US and Twitter India, you see a clear hypocrisy. The Twitter US, I mean, they have actually suspended accounts of white nationalists. They have unverified their accounts.
Different countries have different laws in place. Their efficacy may not be very good or high depending on their specific provisions. The US, because a majority of the service providers are there, is more effective in dealing with these service providers. You can subpoena the service provider, you can get effective relief, and that's the reason why the legal framework there is more effective in terms of trolling.
There is a need to have Swachh social media.
I don't want to suffer in silence. I want to let people know what I'm going through because I don't want to take this alone and I don't want to take this lying down.
I laugh at them because I know where my convictions lie. I have never once asked people to vote for a political party. I don't support any religion because I'm an atheist. I'm only trolling the trolls.
I will never quit a space because someone has abused me, and if I were to exit every space where I had faced discrimination and abuse, I'd basically have to exit the planet. The social media has reaffirmed my faith in humanity, because for every 1,000 people that abuse me, there are 1,000,000 people who I don't know at all, who will emerge from out of the blue to speak up for me and say, don't you dare talk like that.